So as we go through the homework from last night, here's my reasoning for this. Okay, I'm not grading it for necessarily right and wrong. Okay, but you've already gone through and completed it on your own in pencil or blue or black pen. We're gonna go through and complete it again in red pen next to it. Okay, I want you to see my answer compared to yours and how they're different. Okay, now if your answer is exactly like mine, you don't have to rewrite it. Okay, but honestly, these bottom questions are the ones I'm concerned about. Drawing, labeling ion, draw, label, isotope, and then drawing and labeling the elements in the back. Okay, so this part should be okay. All right, it's the drawing and labeling that you're probably going to have to redo. Luke, will you hit the first light next to the door, please? Okay, the top part here, labeling the parts of the atom. Aside from your vocab, this is the only other part that will be on the quiz tomorrow. Okay, so the protons, those are the positive particles in the nucleus. Okay, so you either needed to draw a line from protons to the plus little ball there in the middle, or if you did it something like this, that's also fine. Okay, electrons are the negative particle on the outside. Neutrons are the neutral or the blank particle. Making sure you're pointing to that blank one. Be very specific there. Okay, for the nucleus, you needed to have some way to show me that it's the entire center part. So either putting a ball around it, circling it, put an arrow to it. You could have put a bracket around it if you wanted to. You could have just kind of put a little thing, however. Okay, just make sure I can tell you're pointing to the whole middle part. Yes.
So I put a circle on it, and I put an arrow, and I took like parts of the arrow, and I connected them all the way around.
That's fine. I can tell. Yes.
So wait. So when we're doing some drawing every time on each question?
No, if it's already right, you don't need to redraw it. Okay. And then for the shell, you can either point to the line around the outside, or if you wanted to do the bracket method, it would probably look something like that. Okay? Pretty easy. Connor?
So, I circled the part of the
That's fine.
So, I just drew multiple arrows from the shell to do every part of the shell.
That's also fine. Okay. Number 2, what is the name of this element? How do I figure out what element this is? Jacob? Very good. How many protons are there? 5. Good. You count the protons. There are 5 protons. So, Jacob, what element is this? Boron. Very good. You would then need to look at your chart, your periodic table, find atomic number 5, and figure out what element that is. So, you could have written either boron or the symbol for boron, which is capital B. Okay? What is the atomic number of this element? The atomic number is referring to how many what are in the atom? Class?
Protons.
Very good. So what is the atomic number of this element?
5.
Class?
5.
Good. 5. Okay? Everything good there?
Yes.
All right. Here are the 2 that I'm kind of worried about. I'm not worried. These are the ones that I really want to make sure we understand. I'm going to go through the answers, and then I'll take questions at the end. Okay? It says draw and label an ion of this element. So this element meaning boron. Whenever I'm drawing an atom, I always want to start with the protons. How many protons are in boron, class?
5.
So I'm starting with 5 protons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I need to make sure there's a plus sign on every one to show that it's a proton. Okay? Now, because the question is asking me to draw an ion of the element, there are 3 subatomic particles, yes? Proton, neutron, and electron. I already have a number of protons. Of the 2 that are left, neutrons and electrons, which one should be different for ion? Neutrons or electrons? Electrons. Good. So I'm going to remind myself to change the number of electrons. Okay. So here's the proton. If there are 5 protons, how many neutrons should I have here? Manny? 5. Very good. Okay. Now, someone raise your hand and tell me how many electrons should I have? Amy? You could have 6, 4, 75, 100, doesn't matter. As long as you don't have 5. Okay? So how many did you draw, Amy? Okay, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The last part of this is to label. So here's the electron, here's the neutron, here's the proton.
Oh, you didn't have to label the nucleus with the cell?
No.
I did this.
All right, now let me show you the isotope, then I'll take questions. Okay? Draw and label an isotope of this element. So this element, I'm still working with boron, so I still need 5 protons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Plus, 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 plus. Now, because this is an isotope, now what should be different? Raise your hand. Because it's an isotope, what should be different? Luke? The neutrons. Okay? Luke, how many neutrons should I have? Doesn't matter, more or less. 7 neutrons? That'll work. As long as you don't have what? 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 neutrons. How many electrons? 5. The only thing that should be different is the number of neutrons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I have to label electron, proton, neutron. Okay? Now, you do not have to do this, but I want to show it to you this way as well. If you're drawing an ion of the element, the electron is what should be different. Protons and neutrons should be the same. If you're drawing an isotope, the neutrons should be different, but electrons and protons should be the same. Okay? Does it help to see it that way? Okay, does this make a little more sense? You always start with the protons and then go from there. Ian, what's your question? It could be more, it could be less. Correct. Having more would make it negatively charged. You could have less in the number of protons. It would just be a positively charged ion. Okay? Connor.
So I did the same thing, just I made it bigger, and like in the protons I just put a P in the proton, and then the neutron I put an N, and then the electron.
You made it put an E? That's fine. Riley? Yep. Oh, you put it on your paper.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did it on the back too.
That's okay. That's actually right. But a little bit wrong. You'll see why. You'll see. We're going to get that today. Aiden?
So is it okay that the labeling I do what I so for neutron I do a circle and circle and put back
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine. Yes. Okay, on the back. Now, draw and label an atom of the element hydrogen. Now, here's the thing. Hydrogen is special. Okay? Looking at your chart, or my one back there, if you know which one it is, what is the atomic number for hydrogen? Oscar? 1. Very good. 1 proton. Now, here's why he's special. He does not have a neutron. He is the only atom on the whole table that does not have a neutron. Okay? He has 1 proton and 1 electron. That's it. So draw and label. There's the electron, there's the proton. Brian?
I already knew that, but like
Good.
why can't he have
That's just the way it is. It's just the way it was made.
the
way God created it. Yes. But you draw on a diagram like this, like you have the E on the outside? You for the numbers? Okay, so then with your red pen, just add the diagram picture. Okay? Yeah, just like that. Ian? So then add it with your pen.
And then
Whatever you don't have on your paper, add it with your red pen. That's why we're going over it. Okay, hold on, guys. Last one for drawing and labeling. Draw and label an atom of the element oxygen. So you would need to go to your chart, figure out the atomic number for oxygen. Anyone know what it is? Connor? 8. The symbol is O back there on the chart, so the number is 8. So there are 8 protons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plus, 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 plus. Now, am I drawing an ion or an isotope? Raise your hand. Wyatt? Neither. Very good. Just one regular atom of oxygen. So, Wyatt, if I have 8 protons, how many neutrons? How many electrons? Very good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 8 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Then label. Electron, proton, and neutron. Chloe? You would have to add more electrons to the outside of it. I don't think you can have a positively charged hydrogen atom. Good question. Layla? It won't change the properties, it will just change the mass. There's less weight in the nucleus, so you took out one of the particles. But it does not change the positive or negative charge. Okay? Okay, let me finish these answers and I'll get to your question because I want to stop the recording. Okay? So, how many protons are in one atom of the element neon? How do I figure that out? Manny? Good. You look for neon on the periodic table, and in the box for neon, it has an atomic number of 10, which tells me that it has 10 protons. Now, the next question. How many electrons are in one stable atom of the element sodium? Now, this is a problem, because the table does not tell me how many electrons are in the atom. How do I figure it out? Sophie? Okay. Why 11? Do you know why? 11 is correct. Riley? Very good. The table does tell me that sodium has 11 protons, has an atomic number of 11. So it will also have 11 electrons, especially because it says one stable atom, meaning it is not electrically charged. Okay? And then the last one. What is the last name of the scientist who invented the periodic table? Brian? Mendeleev. Very good. Hold on. You get to your question in 1 second. Okay? All right. These drawings right here, you will not have to draw an atom like this on the quiz. Okay? You will have to label the parts, however, like this, as well as match the vocab. Okay? All right.